All right, so this is the paper that enrichment. Put reading enrichment, or you can put RE. So I'm gonna have an example right here. On my example, you can see I put RE6. Right now, for what I want you to do on yours, put RE3, because I like it to match the week that we're on, and we're on week 3 right now. So that one I did on the 6th week. So, but for yours, you're gonna put RE3. Okay, if you look at your handout, there are 5 parts that you have to do. The first part says you're going to pick 4 words that you encountered that you did not know. Make sure it's not slang or inappropriate. Provide the original quote in which you found your word in the novel. Make sure that you use proper MLA citation when copying the sentence. Write down the word, the definition, and the part of speech. So for part 1, what you would want to do is this. So here's my example. This is when I read 1984. You could see the 4 words that I found are varicose, sanguine, vistas, and tableau. And I have the part of speech right there. I have the definition. And then I have the quote, the sentence that like this. So I copied it out of the book. And you have to put the page number like this in parentheses with a little period after it, because doing it this way is MLA style. Okay, so I did this for varicose, for this one, for vistas, and for tableau. Okay, then after you do that, you move on to number 2. Number 2 says you want to pick a quote from the selection that you read today that was significant and meaningful. Copy the quote in MLA citation, and then explain in 4 or more sentences why you chose that quote or why it was relevant to you. So for me, here's my quote that I picked. I put, how often or on what system the thought police plugged in on any individual one was guesswork. That was on page 6, and I put it in quotes, and here's my answer. I said, this quote stuck out because it's talking about thought police. It suggests that in the future our thoughts could be monitored. Currently, it is said that phone conversations and internet logs can be monitored in the U.S. This seems like the author's way to take it one step further. So you can see 4 sentences, and I'm basically explaining why that quote stuck out to me. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 says, give an example of a literary device you found in the reading. Copy the sentence in MLA citation for the literary device. Name the literary device and explains how it affects the overall story or reading. So for mine, I picked imagery. There's a quote that says, even the streets leading up to its barriers were roamed by gorilla-faced guards in black uniforms, page 8. And I explain, this creates suspense for the ministry of love, and it continues on the back, and it says that the imagery is dark. So I'm explaining that the gorilla-faced guard dressed all in black is creating suspense, dark imagery for creating a tone around or a mood around ministry of love. Okay. Number 4 is, in 5 compound or complex sentences or more, answer one of these questions as a personal response. Now, notice it says one of them. So you pick one of these. You don't answer all of these. So you can say what you learned in 5 sentences, or what you wished in 5 sentences, or what you predict. Okay, you're not supposed to do like 5 of each or anything like that. Only 5 sentences total. So for this one, for number 4, and notice it says it needs to be at least in compound or complex. So for number 4, it says, I chose to do what I predict. So I said, what I predict is this story is about government control and Winston is the main character. I think there will be a lot of advanced technology and much of it will be science fiction. Winston is writing a book and he may get in trouble. The date is 1984, so this year has already passed, but it is, quote, futuristic. And I also predict another character will come along and he or she will discover this book. So you can see that I went with what I predicted, and I wrote 5 sentences in compound format, okay, for what I predicted. Then the last step is easy. The last step is you're going to write a 1-page summary of what you read for that 20 minutes. Okay, so here is mine right here. Now, mine, yours is going to be like a journal where you should have the full page done. Okay, I did this literally, this example, I did it in class with students to show that if you really sit down, read, and get straight to the work, this is how much you can get done. You can get done all of this. I got all of this done on a late start day, and I stopped right there and I noted 5 minutes left. I had to stop because I was the teacher and I had to close class up, okay? If I was a student, I'd have the whole thing done and I wouldn't have any homework. Does that make sense? Okay, so the name of the game is to get it done as fast as you can, and you'll get faster at it, okay? Typically, I see students writing down their words and stuff as they're reading, right? Also, notice that on your handout, it says due today for a stamp right there, and it's got asterisks. You need to have numbers 1, 2, and 3 done during class to get the stamp, to get credit.